Welcome to Rooted in Liberty, the podcast where small town stories meet unbelievable truths. Here, we sit back, relax, and share the kind of tales you just can't make up. These are the true, yet extraordinary moments from our own lives. Stories that could only happen in a place like Liberty, Kentucky.
Hey, welcome back to Rooted in Liberty podcast. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
This is my little buddy Nick. He's my lawnmower man. We could say that this episode is sponsored by Zollner Lawn Care.
Yep.
And this is the main man of Zollner Lawn Care, owner, operator, founder, establisher, whatever you want to call it.
The best stripes in the KC County.
Yeah, you've probably seen them stripes on 127 and different yards. He don't stripe my yard, but that's okay.
That is not true whatsoever. I striped Josh's yard.
You just can't tell it because I got a lot of dead grass.
The other day I texted him. We still had a lot of snow. Even with the snow, you could still see the stripes.
Yeah.
The way it melted.
I wish I could say I was clean of pride at that moment, but I wasn't,
Yeah.
like, at all. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year-round stripes.
Yeah.
The stripes. All about the stripes.
Well, real quick, do you want to tell anything about your business? Do you want to throw your little ad out there? Or?
How can they find you?
Find us on Facebook. You can find us on, we have a website, it's Zollner Lawn Care, jobbersites.com. But the Facebook is the quickest way to find us and find our work. We're on Google, so you can even Google Lawn Care near me. We're one of the first companies to pop up, so real quick and easy to find us.
Phone number?
606-706-9975. Please don't spam.
There we go.
Call, text, send a picture of your yard and just say, hey,
What can I do?
how much? Make sure it's a
sure-
good picture, though. You
How
know.
far will you go?
So I do mainly in Casey County, but I've got a few properties in Russell Springs. I've been asked to come to Junction City and Stanford, and been asked to go to Danville a lot. So people really love seeing those stripes in the yard. Yeah. So
It's just hard to have one yard
Yeah.
in Stanford.
right. That's my biggest kick.
You'd have to charge them out the wazoo to.
I mean, we got listeners worldwide. How about in China?
I heard Norway. I heard you guys
Norway.
are in Norway. So
Josh said we invaded Norway.
I'm not. Yeah, that's what he said. I'm not able to come to Norway. So for the Norwegian folks and listeners,
Right.
I'm sorry, but you can watch our content. We're also
There you
on
go.
TikTok, so watch
Yeah.
our content on TikTok
There
too.
you go.
Yeah. So, real quick, since we got that sponsor, we got four sponsors now, and,
Right.
and Nick is not. He just sponsored this episode, so we let him do his thing. But I'll read one of our ad reads, and then
We'll get into stories.
We'll get into stories. We'll read another and whatnot. This one's the newest one. Proverbs 31 Bakery. A girl named Sammy Taylor. She lives out here on 49. She used to go to church with me. Like it says, bakery. They make, made-to-order bakery specializing in sourdough, fried apple pies. Oh, my goodness, I love fried apple pies.
We could tell.
The shirt.
Yeah.
The shirt.
Cookies, cupcakes, cinnamon rolls, all homemade and dye-free.
There we go.
Says I do orders as small as half dozens, all the way up to birthdays, weddings, etc. Phone number 606-706-5894, and she's got a Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook page.
So I've had a few things of hers. Get on there, hit her up.
All right. Tell her you came from us.
Yeah, mention us. I don't know that it'll do any good,
No,
but just mention that. Just lets her know that her sponsorship is doing
Being
good.
used.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and hopefully next week we'll have some chocolate chip cookies and some lemonade. We'll be down here
yep.
snacking.
I'll be having a
Well,
sugar.
Well,
All right.
y'all didn't know this, but she already gave us something.
You done ate it, didn't you?
No.
You done ate it.
It's in my truck. I forgot it.
Go get it.
I'm not getting up and going out there and getting it.
That's when I wish your kid was here.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
She
This is
made
crazy.
us cinnamon rolls, and
I don't know if you should tell us this.
I ate one on the way here.
Josh.
There was 5. I ate one.
And now there's only 2 left.
That's like the lemonade. I brought 6 over here, and I come back. There's 1 left.
Well, they were there. I was thirsty. I didn't have any Red Bull. Get this, my mother-in-law. I was gonna
Yeah.
quit. I was gonna quit drinking Red Bull because
You're
they're
right.
expensive, and
You're right.
You know, Nick
Times are
saved
tough.
money. Times are tough. $4 a can. You know.
All right.
So my mother-in-law found out about it, and she bought me a 24 pack of them.
Oh man.
I got them in my truck.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Everything. All the
Everything's
good
in the
stuff.
truck.
All the good stuff in his truck.
That's Josh's mobile office.
Right. He won't share with me.
Yeah.
Even though I slave over this podcast editing.
Do you?
I do.
I thought we paid for that to be done.
We do.
Okay.
I slave over it.
All right. So she did give us some of them. We'll let you know how they taste. I only ate one of them,
You
so
can
I
just
can't
take
give a good.
Let's take a picture of it, or
We will. Yeah.
you can
yeah.
film a little clip of eating it or
I
something.
mean, yeah. TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. Nick.
Let us know how it is.
Yeah.
All right. Nick. You got any stories?
Oh man, I've got several stories.
All right.
I'd
shoot.
like to start my stories off with Mom. I apologize.
Okay.
My wife, Kelly, I apologize. Probably going to embarrass the family a little bit.
Do they watch this show?
Probably not.
No, Kelly watches the snippets of it. We was talking about this before, but we love your fish sandwich story. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the funny story about that is my father-in-law, Kenneth Crew, he just got his dentures just a little while ago. And when he got all of his teeth pulled, he couldn't talk really like much for anything. It was a whole lot of sounds. And he was living through the same thing that she was going through.
Yep.
Same thing. And he would always say, literally open, he would tell people, he's like, Nick's making fun of me. I know I'm not making fun of you. You think I'm making fun of you, but
Yeah.
I'm just giggling because you say things like
Whistle.
fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can't help it.
Can't help it.
And then when you get your teeth back, your dentures, you tell me, is it worse?
The whistling
Yeah.
and whatnot, I still whistle. Like,
Yeah.
especially words with an S
Yeah.
or sometimes with an F.
Right.
But I'll get to talking and be in a conversation, and there'll be a whistle, and people will kind of look at you or actually laugh.
All right.
And I just, people give me a strange look, and I'll say, don't make fun of my whistle
All right.
or something like
Has
that.
disability.
But
Or
before
else-
dentures, I could whistle. You know, now it's horrible. I can't do it.
Can't do it
I mean,
alone.
I used to be able to whistle.
Whistle.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. The whistle.
I used to be able to whistle. Like I could whistle the entire Star Spangled Banner if I wanted to.
Okay.
Now I can't. I don't know. I don't know why teeth.
Did you forget the words?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes when he leads singing, he don't realize he'll start a little whistle comes through.
Yep.
But sometimes it's on the rhythm where I just play along with it.
you know, you're gonna keep making fun of me and that song later, and one of these days you're gonna have to do it all by yourself.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Every Sunday, I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get hurt, and you're gonna have to do it all.
That's fine.
I think I just started something.
Yeah.
Did not mean to.
That's why he's in the middle.
Well,
so-
all right.
I did have to learn how to eat again.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
completely.
completely. I mean, it was just weird. Every bite
Right.
was just weird.
Ken said the same thing.
Yeah.
He
Up-
said the same thing.
Up, down, up, down.
You would think it'd be natural rhythm.
yeah, it was weird. All right, enough about me. Let's hear a
All
story.
right, story.
Well, I can tell you guys about the time where I was 16 years old, just got my permit. Back then you get your permit.
Yeah.
It was a way different situation than it is now.
Yeah.
Back then you get your permit, you drive for so long, you've got that sheet that you log so many hours in.
I didn't have that. I'm older than you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, Josh knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You had to, your parent or your guardian or whoever was above 21 would write down your hours. Well, I got my hours and I was excited. I got my license. My intermediate.
Okay.
Well, my dad had a beautiful, like metallic blue single cab 2001 Dodge Ram.
Okay.
And it, back then, it was like it just drank the gas. Absolutely drank the gas. So he was tired of driving it back and forth to Mansville every day. So he got him something like a little Nissan truck, a little 5-speed truck.
Yeah.
And saved an enormous amount of money on fuel. Well, he sold me that truck. I said, Dad, I'd love to have that truck. He said, well, if you give me what payoff is, you can have this truck. Well, here I am, little hot rod kid, just learned how to drive, take off down the road, get on Bowman Trail, and it's on the Sugars Hill side of Bowman Trail. It's that last sharp curve. You know the one I'm talking about. I was looking at my phone, Chris, and I didn't take the curve too much, and here I go, right up above and right up that whole hillside.
Yep.
Come smacking back down, and it scared me so bad I was shaking. That was my first accident. And Mom, you were right. My mom said she got home the next day, and she saw that mark because it was wet. I skid that whole hillside up.
Oh yeah.
And so she come home. She said, "Did you wreck your truck?" First thing I did was take it to the car wash and wash it to try to hide the evidence off my truck. It didn't work. It didn't work. Shit, Mama knew. Mama knows.
Yeah.
Moms know. Let me tell you something true.
Yeah.
So when she come home that day, she said, "Did you wreck your truck?" I said, I don't know what you're really talking about. She said, "Did you ride up that hillside right there at Mr. Sandusky's house or at his field?" "Yes, ma'am, I did." So she chewed me up and down. She said, "If I catch you doing something like that again, I'm going to take your keys." "Yes, ma'am. I'll be more careful." She said, "Slow down." I didn't tell her that it was because I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her that. She thought I was just going too fast.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. She made me go fix the hill, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So I had to go up there, and I had to kind of take a tamping bar,
Yeah.
smooth it back out. It was Mr. Sandusky was mowing his yard. He comes over and driving on his mower. He'd mowed that whole field with a zero-turn mower by himself. And he was out there for hours, but he loved it. He loved it. Well, so I'm out there tamping it, and he comes up. He said, "So you was the one that wrecked on my hillside?" And I said, "Yeah, sir, I'm sorry. I'm going to fix it." And he said, "I wasn't going to worry about it."
Yeah.
He said, "Did your mama catch you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama caught me. Well, the next time I wrecked was the time that I about got hurt. Bad. Real bad. It was on Sugar's Hill. They had just paved the road, like repaved the hill.
Okay.
And the day after they paved the hill, we was having church. Of course, after church, we Pentecostals, we love to eat. So we all go out to eat after church, right? So we go out to eat, and I get a phone call from my dad saying, "Hey, we want you home. It's getting ready to rain." Okay, I'm on my way home. But it started raining. I go up this newly paved, slick as snot hill.
Okay.
Take that curve way too fast. And here comes my butt end around. Of course, you know how single cab Dodge or trucks are.
Yeah.
Real light in the back end. So here comes my back end. Doing like I see in
Fast
Gone in
and
60
Furious.
Seconds.
There you go.
Fast and Furious. I'm trying to correct it. Well, when I did, my front tire, and I remember it to this day, my front tire got traction on those rumble strips and kicked me. Just kicked me around. So I'm trying to go back this way, and I come up on that second curve sideways. Now, right before I hit a tree, wrapped my truck around that tree, I was like, "This is it. I'm gone. My mom and dad ain't gonna know where I'm at. I'm gonna roll down this hill." Well, this tree that was no bigger than Josh in that picture that you showed, when
Okay,
Josh did,
Oh, yeah.
when he couldn't eat.
How big is this
Yeah.
stand here?
Yeah, hit skinny as a rail. That tree is what saved my life.
Yeah.
And it hit right behind the passenger door and in between the rear fender and caved in around that tree. And so here I am, and it kicks me back straight. And the whole front end of the truck is sitting over the hillside. And my bright lights are on. Windshield wipers are going nonstop. And I see all the way down Sugar's Hill, halfway down Sugar's Hill, that whole bluff, standing on the brake pedal.
Oh, yeah.
1,001. I don't know how the airbags didn't go off
All right.
because I smacked that tree.
Yeah.
Well, I finally get up enough courage to reach over in my suit jacket pocket and get my phone out. And first thing I do is call Dad. He answers the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What you want?
Yeah.
I'm in a nap, son. Where are you going?
I said, "Dad, I need you to get a rope in your truck and come down the side of the hill. I'm in trouble." And the only thing I hear is him say, "You wrecked, didn't you?" And my mom in the background was yelling like crazy. "I told you that was too much truck for that boy," and just going on and on. Mama was right. That was way too much truck for me. And that's crazy because it was just a half-ton truck. But here I am sitting there, both feet on the brake pedal, scared to death to move. And the only thing I yell at my mom, I said, Dad, you got to tell Mom not to yell because I could die right now and fall down this hill. So they call the law. They get down there. They get over. And so when they get down there, Dad comes to the side, comes to the driver door. He opens the door and he says, get out. And I said, Dad, I'm scared to get off this brake pedal. He said, son, that brake pedal is not holding you. The tree is holding you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I said, oh, okay. So I shut the truck off because I left the truck running.
Yeah.
Shut the truck off and I get out. And the first thing I do is I kiss the ground. You know, like they see it in the movies.
Yeah.
Kissing the ground. And I walk up to my mom and I said, Mom, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. She says, I could kill you right now.
She's about to throw you off the hill.
I said, Mom, I'm alive. Don't do this yet. Fuss at me when I get home.
Yeah.
And she never did fuss at me after that. She kind of was really kind of mellow about it and just let me kind of take it like a man. But
Yeah.
but I told my pastor at the time about it. And he really brought it out in kind of a spiritual sense. He said, you think about this, Nick. He said, if that tree wasn't there, would you be here?
Right.
And that's just a random tree on the side of a hill. That no doubt they cut that whole hill out years ago. And that's the tree that saved my life. Well, after he preached that to me, that was just him and I in his office. And I told him what happened. And because I had to have the church bus come get me for a while.
There you go.
I didn't have a truck.
Yeah.
So the church bus come and got me for a while. And, well, I went in there and it's still there. I almost guarantee it. I took my pocket knife and I carved a big old heart in it. And I said, thank you.
In that tree?
In that tree.
There you
And
go.
it's still standing?
And I hope so.
Why don't you
We'll
go
have to
find
go see.
Yeah. Take a picture and we'll post
I'll
it
go-
on the page.
I'm going to go cut that tree down
And bring it
and
to your
bring
house.
you a chunk.
That's the one. This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one.
If it's not there, I'll just go out and find a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
So there was one other time
Yeah.
that I had a wreck. Have you ever had a wreck, Chris?
Yeah. That sounds like not to ride with him. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, and there's another part of that story was
Yeah.
I started dating my wife now. But I drove that truck forever. I paid Foley's over on 27 to bend the frame back in. And so he fixed the frame for me. I drove that truck around for years. Put like 6 transmissions in that thing.
Lord.
Drove that truck.
There you go.
I loved that truck. I wish I'd never sold it.
Yeah.
I loved that truck.
You'd be on transmission number 30.
I don't know. It might have been, but I don't necessarily know if I loved that truck because it was my first truck or if it's because I almost died in it.
Right.
I don't.
And your dad gave it to you, right?
Well, I mean, I had to work for it. I mean, I had to pay for it. I paid. I think at the time it was $1,500.
Right.
Of course, back then when you're a kid with no job, that's a lot of money.
It's like 10 grand. I feel my first car was $500.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because it lasted like 4 months. So,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I took, you was talking about first vehicle wreck. When I was, Tony Hayes used to have a garage up here on 49 there. And in high school, in the evenings, I'd go up there and hang out and learn a thing or two, work on some things, really just hanging out. Didn't have anything to do, didn't want to be at home. So me and Tanner would go up there, or I'd go by myself or whatever. And wintertime, and there's no service in his garage, no cell service. At the time, I had an old flip phone or something. And this was my first truck. I was still in high school, and it was wintertime, and it come sleeting real hard. It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Went sleeting real hard. I'd never drove in sleet before. I drove in snow a little, but I was 16, 17 years old. Hadn't had my license long, and Mom had told me, you better be home before the weather gets here. Well, I didn't listen. I thought, I'll be all right, and didn't have a smartphone to check the weather, on my phone. So, anyways, you could hear that sleet hitting that building, and I told Tony, I said, I gotta go home, before it gets too bad. Okay, see you later. And of course, Mom and Dad live, where they live. I got right past Peavy Road, towards Mom and Dad's house, and you got that curve there where Amy and O'Neill live. And I turned, but the truck didn't turn. Just kept going straight. And all I could see was this big tree in front of me up on the little bank. The bank wasn't maybe 3 foot high, but all I could see was that tree, and that's all I could focus on. And I'm a turning and I'm a hitting the brakes, and nothing's happening. It's just I was probably going 55, 60 mile an hour at the time, you know, because I didn't know to drive slower on sleep. Maybe I wasn't going that fast, but anyways.
He's going 70.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hit that tree.
Head on.
Well, sort of. It hit at my, instead of dead center, it hit at my passenger side fender headlight area, right kind of where it bends around. Of course, as you go into that bank, and when you start a bank, things change, and I hit, and I don't know. Of course, nobody can tell me for sure. Here, this is what it felt like happened. It felt like that truck come up and spun around and set me down right in the road, crossways. And I was just white-knuckled, wide-eyed, just scared to death. Mm-hmm. And I spun around or turned around the driveway or whatever, and I went on home. I got out and went in the house, got a flashlight, and come out, and I was looking. And Dad, if I remember right, he'll tell me that I'm completely wrong.
We'll find the right answer at church.
We'll know. Yeah. We'll find out.
If I remember right, he was awake, and maybe he was standing in the kitchen looking out the window and saw me because I parked there on that end, and I was looking at my truck, and when I come in, he's like,
"What'd you hit?
You wreck your truck? You hit something?"
What is it about parents that know?
They just know.
Because they've been there and done that.
What is it? You think so?
Yes.
Well, I think maybe not your mom. I mean,
my mom's been in plenty of wrecks, I can tell you.
Okay, well, my dad, growing up, I've heard stories of him wrecking and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess they just know you're 16. Well, just like with me, with Kaylee, she's 14. She'll be 16 in 2 years. I know what's coming.
That's why you buy the cheapest car, because they're going to wreck it.
Yeah.
I rarely know any 16-year-olds that not wrecked their first car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. I rear-ended a lady with mine. That's when I put that wooden bumper on there,
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
You go back.
Street.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to that episode later.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode it was, but we was talking about wrecks when Chris wrecked on his honeymoon and blah, blah, blah. The only other thing your story made me think of, because you're talking about Sugar's Hill, I had that flatbed truck, and me and Ashley were dating. She lived on Martin Road.
Mm.
And I overstayed or whatever, ended up staying there late, didn't leave there till like 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe even fell asleep, got up and left and was going home. And the truck didn't have any taillights. It's a flatbed truck.
Okay.
With no taillights, so just a black bed. And I remember it was a 6-speed, and I got to the end of her road there at 70, Dale Weddington's house right across the road, and I was sitting there and I fell asleep with my foot on the clutch, or maybe I took it out of gear. I don't remember. But anyways, my arm was out the window, and I fell just right to sleep. And
Night.
headlights were on,
but
there's no taillights, nothing. And don't know how long I was asleep for. Truck was running, but I felt this guy touch my arm. And it scared me. I popped up, and he's like, "Buddy, you all right?" And I said,
He probably thought he OD'd. He was skinny, had no teeth.
Drunk. He might have been drunk. You never know.
This dude just OD'd.
He said, "Buddy, you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I was just sitting here a minute." He said, "Man, you ain't got a bit of taillights. I almost hit you." Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. And I went on.
Just rubbing his.
Yeah.
All right.
I pulled away and I turned left because I'd go to Clemensville, Casey Creek, and come home. And I woke up when I hit the guardrail going over Clemensville Hill, of course, on my right side. And I just drifted into it. Only thing it did to the truck was it ripped the, them bigger Chevrolet trucks. They got them big plastic
Fender flares.
No, lug nut covers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The ones that stick out this far.
It ripped one
Was
of
this
them
that
off.
ton truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
It ripped one of them off, and from then on, I was wide awake. I was scared to death. I just knew. I almost died there. I mean, I could have hit the guardrail fast.
Could have killed somebody because
anything like that.
That was Clemensville Hill?
Yep.
But you made it home after.
I made it home.
Yeah.
So I had similar situation happen to me. I didn't fall asleep on Clemensville Hill. This happened pretty recent.
Yeah.
And this was another 2001 Dodge, but this is my plow truck. You've seen me in my snowplow truck.
Yeah.
We're going down there to snowplow at St. Bernard Catholic Church.
Yeah.
We did the lawn care for the last couple of years, but we also do their snow plowing. So I sent one of my workers down there in another snowplow truck to start. He lives in the Creston area, like Water Tower Road is where he lives. So I sent him there first. Well, I was like, I'm gonna come help him. That's a big parking lot. On my way there, I get right there where Mill Manor was, and my whole steering wheel and truck starts doing this. I was like, oh man. And I thought, Chris, my four-wheel drive's going out of my truck.
Okay.
So I stop in the middle of the road, crank it down because it's in the shifter. It's not one of them button ones. It's in the shifter on the floor. And I get it out of four-wheel drive, put it in two-wheel drive. And I get about that first curve to the right, and it's still shaking like an earthquake. I mean, just... And I prayed. I said, Lord, would you please at least let me make it down here where Nathaniel is so he can maybe help me and figure out what's wrong with his truck? It's just shaking. There's a little bridge right there on 551. Is it 551? Where
Yeah.
I think it turns.
As soon as you turn on,
Yeah.
there's a bridge.
Right. As soon as you turn that bridge, I got on that bridge, and then all of a sudden my truck hops once and boom, falls down straight on a rotor, and my entire wheel goes.
Well,
And I skid to a stop. Very similar, both feet on the brake pedal, scared to death.
yeah.
And skid to a stop, and I took a stop right there in front of the entranceway to that church.
So you
Right
made it.
there.
You made it.
Technically, the Lord did exactly what I asked. Some people would
Yeah.
say you need to be specific with your prayers.
Yeah.
Right.
And but so I get my coat on, and I put my boggin on, and I start walking up there because Nathaniel's already there. So I start walking up there, and Nathaniel's snowplowing right there in front of the church. And he sees me, and he stops, and he rolls down the window, and where's your truck? I said, it's down there at the entranceway. He said, well, what happened to it? I said, I lost a wheel. You lost a wheel? Like, he freaks out. You lost a wheel? I said, yeah, I'm serious. I lost a wheel. Every one of the studs, except for one, broke on that truck, on that wheel.
Yeah.
And could have really ended badly coming over Clemensville Hill because, I had a whole load of salt in the back.
Yeah.
My snow plow in the front. My spreader is on the back. I was heavy.
Yeah.
So,
I never had a wheel come off. Knock on wood. Find a piece of wood.
Lord have mercy somewhere.
Never,
Go get a text tomorrow.
They say never. They say never say never. I've not ever had a
Thus
wheel
far.
come off thus
Right.
far, but almost here recently. I was we were working, and I've got a ton truck, and I drive it. It's it's got duals on the back, and I drive it everywhere every day, and we're hauling the equipment and pulling trailers and hauling wood, stuff like that. And I got to noticing this noise, and it was only, let me think. Yeah, I got to noticing this noise, and I could hear it in the truck with the windows up, and I'd roll the window down. You could hear it. It was just a kind of a clicking noise, and almost like something's in your tire. And I listened to it for about a day, and got out, and you feel around, and you can't. There ain't a whole lot you can do. If you can't see it, then there ain't a lot you can do. And it got worse and worse as the day. Actually, I think the next day it was even worse. And we drove to wherever, done whatever. And that evening, I was going to pick up Luke at my grandpa's, and I left Mom and Dad's, and I was going down there to make 2 or 3 miles, and I thought it sounded horrible, and I thought I gotta go at least jack it up and do something. So I turned around, and I went back to Biscuits, and I texted him and said, hey, I'm going in the shop to check my truck out, and I jacked it up and popped on them forward tons. They've got a lug nut cover that sets inside of the outside wheel, and it's a pain to get off. You got to have something reach in there and hook and pull it off. I popped it off, and every one of my lug nuts were backed off about that far. Every one of them.
So you were real close to doing what I did.
Yeah.
Real close. Except mine was on the front.
Yeah.
Mine was where I controlled my steering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what fell off of mine.
So I jacked up. I popped them off. I looked at the studs. Everything was fine. There was no waller. The holes wouldn't waller down or anything. But had I just turned the radio up, and ignored that sound.
Like we normally does.
Don't
Yeah.
turn the radio up.
All right.
Just find out.
Unless it's something you know you can't fix.
Yeah.
Right.
And just turn it up to where you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Similar thing happened to us in Myrtle Beach. And I'll tell you that right after a word from our sponsors.
Yep. Yep.
Get out my handy dandy notebook here. Shelter insurance.
Yeah.
Kevin Atwood, our little buddy, was losing his hair over in Liberty.
Keep going.
Yeah. Anyways, shelter insurance. I was going to try to come up with something quirky, but I couldn't.
No, that was quirky.
Home, life, and auto. Whatever insurance you need.
Yeah. Life insurance.
606-787-8770. He's right there in Liberty. You can't miss him. Go in there and check him out. He'll get you fixed up. And around back, you got his brother Brent. They do detail and tint. Same phone number. Call them. Get your car cleaned out, windows tinted. I need to do that. I'm getting tired of squinting when I look out certain windows.
Until
Any
it's,
window.
until it's nighttime, you're like, why did I tint these windows?
Yeah, well, then you just roll them down.
Yeah.
But check
30
them
degrees
them
outside.
boys out. Kevin, he is losing his hair, but he can't help it. He's
Sorry,
getting
Kevin.
old.
I do not endorse that in that
right.
type of advertisement.
Yeah.
I was the other day at the middle school. We were at a volleyball game, and we got the shelter insurance.
Yeah.
Old, pretty. It's like hand painted sign. I'm pretty sure, but it has the agent, the owner is his dad, Bob.
Yeah.
And it says just like the helper, Kevin. I took a picture and I said, "How
Says
long?"
helper.
Yeah, or something like that. It was
Yeah.
like,
Well, if Kevin, he's got his business cards,
yeah,
and it's from his picture from when he first started.
Kevin Spacey. That's who
Yeah.
it looks
He
like.
looks. I mean, I said you got to update this picture.
Well, that's the
'cause-
plan. I'm planning on going over and do some headshots for him.
We'll do it. Good deal.
Yeah.
What story was I fixing to tell?
That is totally
Who
in the
knows?
cranial cavity of you, my friend.
What were we talking about?
Tires. I got a quick tire story.
Oh,
real
I
quick.
remember it now. Go ahead.
I got a couple. Of course, working for the cable company, you're always on the road. And when I first started, we had those old Ford vans that had the big, the lug nut covers.
Yeah.
And what we would do to the new guys, we pop those off, fill them with rocks or fittings, and that sucker sounded like the whole tire was gonna fall off. Yeah, we got in trouble for that. HR didn't like that too much.
bet.
But it was hilarious
I
because
bet.
it's just the big, look like a bowl, that pops on
Yeah,
there.
same old mine.
Yeah. We
You
should-
never thought of that.
I did.
We should totally do that.
Well, see now.
This is for the cinnamon rolls.
All right.
Yeah.
We don't tell Dane. It'd be like, but this
He
happened.
turns the radio up.
Right, a couple years ago, year or two ago, I was in my Passat there, my Volkswagen, head home, and on Preston Highway, it's always, you see on Facebook, people pop tires. Well, I just turned left off Preston Highway in my road, and I was kind of feel something like, okay, that didn't feel good, and I pull my garage, open my door here, tss, the worst sound, and I pop my driver's front and back tire.
Oh boy.
You're talking about expensive fix. You just see my car go,
Eek.
Yeah.
you open the door and just hear, tss, and Zachary's like, what's that noise? Is your car supposed to be leaning to the left now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I filled them up enough to drive just across. Luckily, across the street was Big O Tire,
Yeah.
and I got enough air in them.
Well, how did you get that lucky? Normally, when people get a flat tire, they're
Right.
miles from a tire shop.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're in Louisville, there's 20 in.
Tire shop every block.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Sugar Hill's at, so we're good.
It's not made of sugar.
It's SHUGARS.
Yeah.
But it's right at the end of where 70 meets 127 there by Goose Creek.
Okay.
It's a county road across. Right, if you go straight,
Oh, okay. Where you get your trailer from your friend there? Is that
you can go that way. Yeah. That's
Okay.
Sugar's Hill, and you go up and turn on Bowman Trail.
okay?
That's where he lives.
Okay.
Nick grew up off Bowman Trail on Rabbit Run.
Rabbit run.
Rabbit
Little
Run.
dead end road.
Okay.
When I carried the mail, that was my route, and
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
where his route is because every time I deliver mail here. I deliver mail here. Hey, I deliver that guy's mail. Hey, let's go down this road. I used to deliver mail down here.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. with your
This was
story.
10 minutes out of the way just to tell me that.
Right.
yeah. There was a dog at the end of that road.
Yeah.
Rabbit Run, the last house on the left, had a German Shepherd.
Is that the one that chased you?
No,
Dayo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They kept it in the house. They had to keep it in the house.
They had to keep it in
we
the
wouldn't
house.
deliver their packages. Now, your people had Huskies. Yeah.
Huskies.
I remember
Mom and Dad loved
them
Huskies.
things would walk right up to you and rub all over you whenever. Yeah, we had
Not
a package.
Dale. Dale was his name.
Yeah.
He was mean. Like,
Yeah.
and the sad thing was, if like the owners were there, Steve and Pam, lifelong friends, if they were home, you can come over and rub his belly. You can do whatever you want to, but you wouldn't want to be there by yourself with him.
Yeah. He didn't like mailmen.
Yeah.
No,
Most
neither
dogs
does
don't.
Yeah.
Neither does mine.
Yeah.
My German Shepherd hates mailmen.
Yeah.
She hates them. So, but you didn't have my route.
Well, yeah, but not originally, no.
Yeah. Was you a temp?
Yeah. You sub.
So
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah.
When you drove,
Probably
because I
like
remember
temp.
I remember him driving the old Dakota around.
Oh, okay.
Well, see,
mail.
before that, I had a Blazer. Had a red
Blazer.
Chevy Blazer.
Like a CRV or something. How'd you borrow that?
CRV was the one I borrowed and took to the car wash.
Gotcha.
That was Dwight Kaufman.
The one where you destroyed
The hearse.
that light destroyed the hearse.
Yeah.
The brand new hearse.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular story.
Speaking of a hearse, y'all know what a Chevy Trailblazer is, right?
Yeah.
You used to
swear I
have
thought he
one.
would-
Yeah, I used to have one.
I thought he was about to go to our next sponsor.
Right. Speaking well, Hearst sponsors us now since
As your time came, do you
uh,
do you need? Well, I mean,
All right.
if they're listening, their time hasn't got here yet. Anyways, I saw a Chevy Trailblazer a while ago
Yeah.
on my way home, and from the front of it, I saw it from the side. From the
Okay.
front of it to the back door looked like a Chevy Trailblazer. The rest of it looked like a hearse. It was
Really?
weird. It didn't look factory. It looked like they took the back end of a hearse and stuck it on the back end of a Trailblazer. It was
like
weird.
probably you did.
It might have been.
If you're out there and that's actually your vehicle, we are not making fun of you.
Right.
But no, just your vehicle.
Just your vehicle. The scariest I've ever been with Josh was it was after a storm. We went looking at a tree, supposedly over by your house. Button knob, right?
Yeah.
And
It's my home.
he said, "Hey, somebody's posted tree on the road. Hop in the truck and we'll go over there." Well, we hit button knob. His windshield wipers just quit working.
Oh yeah, it's pouring the rain.
And it was
In your truck?
Yeah.
pouring down rain. I'm thinking, I'm not going to make it.
Like I would have to stop, get out, and move them to clear the windshield, and then drive some more.
And it's raining at the time.
Yeah.
It would sporadically kick in every now and then.
Yeah, I got to where you could turn, you could just spin the whole thing all the way around. You know the little clicks?
Yes.
It just go all the way around.
I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to make it off this hill.
I had to replace that switch.
Oh, you wasn't on the flat button knob side. You were on the gravel side of button knob?
No.
No, we were up top.
Okay. I was like,
But still, when you're on a one-lane county road and you can't see out your windshield because
Right.
it's so wet,
it's
you,
still scary.
you got to
Yeah,
stick
his
your
truck-
head.
It would have been 10 times worse on a gravel road.
Yeah.
Gravel
It's
hill.
pouring down rain. He's got his head out there like a Dumb and Dumber. Like,
Yeah.
That's what we felt like.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the tree. Was it already gone?
What? No, we never found it.
So it was
It
already
was a wild
cleared.
goose chase.
Yeah.
He was mad.
I was just trying to go
Be a hero.
be a hero. I was going to charge the county for it.
Put a cape on.
Yeah. But we was talking about trucks and tires and whatnot.
Yeah.
We went to Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
I took that truck,
Myrtle Beach, yeah.
my truck, and I pulled a camper with it, Tom and Laura's camper. We went to Myrtle Beach. Took us forever to get there.
Okay.
But we finally got there. Had a good time, camping right on the beach. And the story that I'm going to tell, I could tell a story about the whole trip, but on the way home, I don't know exactly how long it should take you to get out of South Carolina, but from Myrtle Beach to Columbia, South Carolina, took us 5 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, everybody was leaving at the same time, so traffic was horrible. But still, it took a while. Now that truck, you couldn't going down there. Figured out, we didn't pass a single person going down there. Everybody passed us. Stayed in the slow lane. It was just a horrible drive down there. But long story short, we're going up whatever road it is, headed into Columbia from Myrtle Beach, and I get to hearing or feeling this, hearing this noise, feeling something in the back end of the truck. Something's not right. pull over, get out and look, check tires, and nothing's flat. Had a kind of a flopping noise like a flat tire. And I was driving, Tommy was with me because it's just a single cab truck and everybody else was in the van behind us. And Ashley, after we got going again, she called me and she's like, there's something wrong with your back tire. I can see it. Like there's something stuck between your back tires. And sometimes a rock will get stuck in there or something like that. So I get out, lay down, and run my hand around. Nothing. Can't feel a thing. So we take back off, and it keeps getting worse and worse. Now, this is a Saturday afternoon. It's after lunch. We pull into Columbia. Well, we start looking for tire shops. Come find out, had a bead broke and had a big knot on the side of that tire. And, you know, what she was seeing was every revolution. She was seeing it touch that other tire. And we ended up, we went to a Firestone, Googled it, pulled up a Firestone over by Walmart, pulled in, and that place was a ghost town. Yeah. Like hadn't been in business for years. Okay, try the next one. So we tried a couple of different ones. They were closed. Ended up finding a Pet Boys that was open. And we went over there, had to unhook the camper, and they said, yeah, we'll be open till 5 or whatever. He said, but it'll be 2 or 3 hours before we can get to it. Great. So
Ouch.
Unhooked it, parked the truck. We went to Longhorn Steakhouse, I think.
Okay.
We just had time to kill. Ended up cost like $300. They put a new tire on it, hooked up and left, and we drove straight home. It ended up taking us 16 hours to get home from Myrtle Beach. We drove straight there.
Have you ever been back?
No.
No, he don't go to the beach.
I'm going in June.
Speak our next sponsor, the beach. I was kidding. Sunscreen.
Yeah, I'm going in June. We're going to Tampa.
When?
7th through the 14th. What's the problem?
I don't know.
Did you get that
camp
approved?
until the next week?
Oh, is it? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Church camp's the 16th
Yeah.
or 15th.
But his excuse is like, I don't have no clothes. I can't go
Where?
to church camp because you're going to be gone for that long.
Yeah. Well, all I have on down there's a Speedo.
All right. Don't say that.
Speaking of our next sponsor,
Let that paint a picture.
Right. We got kids who watch this.
Well, there's things out there that they shouldn't see.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But
since you mentioned the sponsor,
give us a sponsor there.
we'll throw another one. Vintage Honey.
Vintage Honey.
Hey.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, hold it up there. So I'm drinking the Cupid Special, which was one of the Valentine deal, and it's a pineapple strawberry.
I think I got some coconut, strawberry coconut.
And Nicholas has got the...
Don't call me that.
Is it Nicholas or is it
Nikolai.
Nicodemus?
It's
Nikolai.
it's technically the first by
Nikolai.
law, but the only two people in the world that call me Nicholas is my mother
And his wife.
and my wife,
I say it all the time.
for very similar reasons
Right.
most of the time because they're
Yeah.
mad. But
Yeah.
what am I drinking?
Lemonade.
Just
OG.
regular old OG
'Cause
lemonade.
it's delicious.
So, Vintage Honey,
Yeah.
based out of right here in Liberty, Kentucky, Misty Cravens. She started this little business. Y'all know, you've heard about it,
Yeah.
but we got to give her a little shout out. Nick says it's delicious. I like this. I didn't care for the coconut, but I'm not a coconut
I
kind
like
of
the
guy.
coconut.
So, whatever, she's got a flavor that'll make your taste buds pop.
Yeah.
She is, let's see, her locations.
Oh, she's grown now.
She's growing, so she's at Save-A-Lot in Liberty and Russell Springs, the Farm Fruit Market in
market.
Russell Springs, and Windsor Grocery is her new
She's
location.
got that new. I don't know where. I
It's
feel
in
like-
Windsor.
I know. I feel like we've been to Windsor.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
And the Goods Creamery.
Goods Cream and Bread of Life.
Oh, Bread of Life. I can't forget about that. Go check her out.
Yeah, follow
Now,
her Facebook page.
Ours got these little Rooted in Liberty labels. She can do labels. She
Yeah.
can do whatever. She
We
can
did
do
the gallon.
probably custom flavors, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So check her out on Facebook. Let her hook you up, or let I don't know how to say that.
Quench your thirst with Vintage Honey.
There you go.
There you go. That's the way I got him around.
Yeah. Windsor,
Windsor. Have we
Is-
been to Windsor with you?
probably.
He used to deliver the mail there.
I didn't. I never did.
Yeah.
Windsor, if you go to Windsor, is on 80 between
Okay.
Russell Springs and Nancy.
Okay.
If you're going to go to Somerset from here,
You
go 501, 910. 910 comes out on 80 in Windsor.
Okay.
Only thing in Windsor is a gas station,
Right. I guess
the-
that's where she's at now.
I guess. Yeah, at that gas station. They call it Windsor Grocery.
Okay.
Yeah, I was down there over the other day, but I didn't know she was in there.
I think it just started this week.
Okay, I went in there the other day and I got me something to snack on and I was gonna get me a bottle of pop, and they had grape soda. I love grape pop in a glass bottle, and I got it, and I just happened to look, and the next one was pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
And I left it there. I thought that ain't for me. I'm not a pumpkin kind of guy.
This was pumpkin soda.
Soda.
Dirt pop. Is it pop or soda on this
That's
podcast?
what,
It's pop.
It's Coke.
Is it?
That's
In
everything.
my house, it's pop.
It's
It's all
It's
water.
Coke.
Yeah,
Give me a Coke.
yeah. Do you have any other stories, Nick?
Well, I can tell you about
We got just a few minutes.
Yeah, we're good. We're just hit 45-minute
the
mark.
time crunch. Let's see. What about the time Jacob Potter drove my lawnmower over the side of the hill there in front of Tartar?
I heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah, if I send you a picture, can you put a picture up and show
Yeah.
people what this was like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jacob Potter was one of my workers, one of my team members, and he wanted to mow the bypass, we call it the devil strip,
Yeah.
between the sidewalk and the bypass. Terribly dangerous spot.
Yeah.
The Devil's Strip.
That's what we call it. That's what we call it in the
Okay.
lawn care industry. And so from the stoplight there at McDonald's and Tartar Industries, from all the way up heading north,
Okay.
you can get 2 swipes until you get to a certain light pole. And I told Jake that. I said, stay in 2 lanes, 2 strips of the mower in that one. But then when you get past that light pole, only do one strip. Okay. Me and my other team member, we went and did a project for Liberty Tourism at the lake. We cleaned up the path for them, the walking trail.
Okay,
We
okay.
not keep the weeds down, so it's easier for the people to walk through. I get a phone call from Jake, and he says, "Nick, I'm stuck." I said, "Oh, you're stuck? Where are you at?" "I'm really stuck." "Okay. Did you do 2 swipes?" "Yeah, I thought I could do it. I did 2 swipes." And apparently he went all the way down this hillside. It's 1,000 wonders, and by the grace of God, he didn't flip that lawnmower over on him. Well, so I said, "All right, Jake, well, I'll be there in just a minute." So I get ready to head back, and there was a spot down there where the walking trail comes out, like it intersects the actual road to go to the lake. Maybe 50 yards from that. I thought maybe I can get 2 swipes of that. I got stuck down there at the lake
At the same time.
at the same time.
Same day.
Same day, same
Oh, man.
minute. I was literally on my way over there to go get Jake out of that. And so I shut the mower off. I walk over there, and I tell Tanner, I said, "I need you to get the other mower and get up here and help me get out." So when I show up, my mower's covered in mud. I mean, covered in mud. And we show up, and I call Adam Davis to get his rollback up there and to pull us out of this hill, because it's a bluff. You'll see it when we load up the picture. It's a bluff. And Jake looks at me, and I ask him, I said, "Are you okay? You didn't get hurt, right?" That was the first thing I asked him when he called me. I said, "Did you get hurt?" "No, I didn't get hurt." The second question was, "Did the mower get hurt?" "No, the mower didn't get hurt." And I said, "Great. Be there in a minute." Then that's when I got stuck. So I get there, and Jake's like, "Nick, be honest with you, you don't seem like you're mad."
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. No. Stuff happens.
Right,
Stuff,
all right.
stuff happens, Jake. It happens. Well, another time I wrecked a lawnmower over there at St. Bernard. That same spot where I wrecked that truck, where the wheel come off my truck. The hill in front of that is pretty aggressive. I thought I could take that sit-down mower down that hill, keep me from having to weed eat that whole hillside, keep me and the guys from having to weed eat that hillside. I did. And I went up that hill, and the weight of that lawnmower forced me to go down and slam into the base of that ditch. And when it did, that mower flipped over on me.
Yeah.
And I had the roll bar up. And so that's
That saved you.
safety equipment. Zollner Lawn Care is safe. Make sure that the podcast knows that. We are safe. But that'd been the so not only have I wrecked vehicles, but I've wrecked lawnmowers.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we have made some family trips and we've been 100% safe. So
Yeah.
I want that to be a disclaimer,
good.
which is why I said sorry, wife, and sorry, mom. But we have been kind of safe.
Yeah.
A lot of trips.
Yeah. I wrecked a four-wheeler one time. I was there. I had a a Honda 450, whatever. And I was riding around, and I turned on Griffith Ridge there, and I was running down Griffith Ridge, and, you know, it's a little curvy down there by Bart's. You go around that curve past their shop, and then you keep going, and I turned, and we didn't turn. And stupid me thought, well, I'll just ride the ditch out. Well, the ditch turns with the road. I didn't think. I smacked a wooden fence post, and it threw me off the four-wheeler over. I didn't go over the fence, but it threw me into the fence, woven wire fence. And then all I remember is that four-wheeler rolled up onto my foot. It didn't, not hard, it just stopped at my foot. And I stood there and I thought, what in the world just happened? And I had a tie rod break or come apart. So when I turned,
Nothing.
The wheels were no longer attached to the handlebars. So, you know, I was dazed and confused, you know, kind of, and I got up and I lived just across the field, really, from where I was at. So it's faster to walk across the field. And I get about halfway home, and I see Bart coming on a four-wheeler towards me.
Yeah.
And he got over and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I wrecked my four-wheeler over here. I'm just cutting across your field to go get a truck." And he ended up helping me and whatnot. He probably called me a name or made fun of me or something along the lines. But, But so I've wrecked a few things too.
I'll never forget. I think I was either a teenager. We went to a wedding in Kansas City, and I was with my parents. They had an old van. We drove, and I just remember getting up and said, "All right, wake me up when we get to Kansas City." I did sleep the whole way, but when I got there, my dad's at a car wash. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, back in Indiana, 10 hours ago, I hit a deer, and the carcass is stuck underneath the van, and he couldn't get it out. It like melted to the transmission, or
Oh, good
we
Lord.
drove that van, that deer underneath their van from Indiana all the way to Kansas City."
Good Lord.
Yeah,
That's about as redneck as it gets.
right.
Incredible.
Was it Kansas City,
look-
Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess someone hit it and it was in the car. It was already on the ground, and he rode over top of it.
Double hit it.
And hooked it.
Yeah, and he hooked it.
I had that happen the other day.
All right.
That car wash owner was probably so mad.
What do you do? He still had everything hidden it. Nothing's wedged up underneath something. Of course, you know a van is this far off the ground.
Yeah.
My wife had a flat tire in our van when I lived in Bullitt County. And of course, this is on Preston Highway, and it was winter time, and it was like 20 degrees. It was snowing. Never changed those Dodge vans. I don't know if you ever changed a tire on a Dodge van. Well, the spare tire is in the middle in the front. You got to take apart the center dash and take a tool and drop the tire down. Yeah, it was, and luckily it was on the passenger side, so I wasn't on like the highway side, but snow everywhere. She was heading somewhere. I pull up, she hops in my car and says bye, leaves me with the van, and I'm trying to change his tire. Yeah, it was
That doesn't sound fun.
yeah, it's a van that we have now. You have to take some stuff out. There's like a little bolt you unscrew and the tire drops down.
Well,
Took me
that's
forever.
ridiculous.
I was opening up the trunk looking for I'm like, where's this tire?
Yeah.
Get the manual out. How to get the manual out, figure it out.
Figure out where the spare tire was. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Lose my guy cars there.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Give us another sponsor
we'll
there
wrap
real quick.
it up because we got things to do.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on time.
All right. So the Buck, 98.7 WKDO. Do you listen to the Buck?
I listened to the book.
All right, I do too. Do you?
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. So 98.7 WKDO. Start your mornings out with Jerry on the Buck morning show. Weekdays 6 to 10. They do country tunes, local news, plenty of laughs. They do a daily reverse. They do the Buck Shop on Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon, you have Crystal with the Afternoon Drive show from 1 to 6, keeping you entertained with classic country hits and the latest weather. And then in the evening, you got Jeff with the Classic Country Nights from 6 to 10. Legends of country music, playing songs you know and love. Check them out. They've got a website, chasingthebuck.com. Listen to them worldwide, wherever you want to. You can find all the Buck Shop info on there and all the news on there and so forth. But check them out.
Also,
Good music.
now I got Jerry last week. I got the Buck he's putting the Buckshop replays on Spotify.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good.
So you can go back
That's
and listen
cool.
to
Yeah.
Buckshop on Spotify.
You can go to Spotify and you can listen to us.
Yeah.
And then you can listen to them.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Did you hear what's going on? I guess the last couple weeks down the Buckshop, someone called in. I was there helping Jerry one day. He's like, Brother Chris, someone's called twice this week and they've got me. They call. I guess they blocked their number. Well, they had eggs for sale and Square Bell Haze for cheap. Well, they gave someone else's number. It was a prank.
Yeah.
And they all thought it was Bart. Bart's like, I didn't do it, preacher. They were calling Bart. Said Bart then called in and gave someone else's number.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do that.
Was it
But-
Josh?
No.
Wouldn't me.
So now Jerry says no more blocked numbers. He won't take any.
But I wouldn't
Right.
even think to block my number. I would just use my number.
All right.
You would be quick to track down him.
Yeah.
Because you have a distinct voice. Jerry would know this is
Well,
Josh
I can
Edwards.
disguise my voice.
Can you?
I can
Okay,
talk like
prove
a
it.
girl.
Just go on.
Well, what would you like me to say?
Welcome to the Buck.
Welcome to the Buck.
That's Josh Edwards.
That's Josh.
Well, yeah, you know, because you're sitting there looking at me.
I closed
If
my
we
eyes
turn
for a
the
second.
lights off,
Their lights up.
you might think it's somebody different.
All right.
We can leave the mood lights on there.
All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Anything else? You got anything else before we head out?
Thanks for listening to my stories about all the
Yeah.
wrecks that I've had.
Go ahead and tell us where they can find you one more time.
They can find us on Facebook. We have TikTok, but Facebook is the best way to find us.
Yeah.
And check out we call it lawn art. Check
Lawn
out those
art.
straps.
All right. Do you got tree art over there, buddy?
I don't. I mean, trimming a tree, they always end up uglier than when you start.
Yeah.
And that's what tell people. Say, hey, look, it's going to be ugly. You're going to give it 3 or 4 years before it looks pretty again.
Yeah.
So, what's your phone number again?
606-706-9975.
So call in the
There you
Buck
go.
Shop and say, hey, he's got egg for sale.
Yeah.
Ouch. Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
This is Josh.
All right.
This is Josh. Is that your old girl tone?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you sounded like.
That's what you sound like.
To a T.
Well, I'm going to work on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, YouTube. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse why you're not listening to us
Yeah.
daily. Hey, real quick,
All
I
right.
did have a little. I went into the bank the other day,
Okay.
and I was talking to Alicia, and this lady that works in there, Tina.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey, you got me in trouble," and I said, "What I do?" Tina Kaufman. I said, "What I do?" She said, "Well, their daughter or somebody lives in D.C., and they go up and visit and go see her and whatever. And they were recently going to visit, and I guess they used GPS to get them there, but the way it was wanting to take them, is his name Jim or Ken?
Ken Kaufman.
Yeah.
Her husband?
Yeah.
His name is Ken.
Okay. I don't know why I'm thinking Jim. Anyways,
They're not
sorry.
all similar.
Sorry, Jim. Whoever Jim is. So, anyways, they punched
No,
it up
as in-
with GPS, and it didn't really show the route he wanted to take. So, she said, "Well, this just leave it alone, and when you get to the point of where it tells you to turn, you just go straight, and it'll recalculate, and it'll give you a different route." So
In the Josh voice.
Alternating route.
That was too good.
it was really good.
That was,
Yeah.
We see why
Do you
drunk.
moonlight as a
Voice actor?
Yeah.
I will not confirm nor deny.
So, anyways, they're going and they get somewhere out in West Virginia, and he's like, "Well, sorry." She turned on the podcast. She's like,
All right.
"I got something for us to listen to along the way."
Okay.
So they get somewhere out in West Virginia, and he's like, "Where are we at? What? How come we haven't got there yet?" And she's like, "Well, you were supposed to turn wherever." And he's like, "I forgot all about that thing, GPS. I was listening to that podcast." So I'm sorry.
Distracted.
Yeah.
I had a lady from the gym said I guess they went to Florida and they listened. She said, "I heard you for 10 hours." I said, "Wow."
Well,
Yeah.
that she knows how we feel.
All right. That's how I feel when people are like, "Why ain't you edited yet?" Because I just sat through it for an hour.
Yeah.
I don't hear it again. But
Yeah.
but
We don't do a lot of editing.
No.
That's okay.
No.
when
it's
you're-
raw. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Perfection doesn't mean
Right.
editing.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
yeah. Lots of luck to you and yours.
Yep.
Need your yard mowed, call him. Need a tree cut, call me.
If you need to get prayed on, call me.
If Jesus, call Chris.
If you need square bells, it goes to Josh Aikman.
Yeah. All right. Love you back.